If the eyes are the windows to the soul, what does that make the mouth? Is the mouth like the front door because things are coming in and they can go out? Or is it something else entirely? Or, I don't know, am I just stretching an analogy that was never meant to be stretched? Either way, let's talk about mouths. So when it comes to breaking down the basics of a mouth, I want to talk about the shapes. So the upper lip is basically just an M and the lower lip is a V. Now, of course, you're going to stretch them out just for how lips will naturally be resting. But once you have that kind of idea, I want to start filling it out with the three-dimensional shapes. So I start with 3 spheres in sort of a stacked triangular pattern. Now, filling out with that M, we're going to follow the contour of that top sphere and we're going to drag down to the length of our mouth. Now, ideally, we're going to have more facial features, so we're going to be able to line them up correctly like we can with the nose when you look at proportions, so you'll know where the mouth ends. The bottom piece will also connect and there will be a flatter surface connecting those 2 circles. Now, whenever you're on the surface, and you're laying a face down, remember that the face is not flat. It's not a flat plane. It looks wrong if it's flat. We have a curvature to the face. So when you're drawing the lips, the line needs to be curved following along with the curve of the face entirely. Remembering the contour, like whenever you're turning the mouth, it's going to change the visibility. So we got to talk about the contours of the way that lips work. So you're going to be pulling down, cutting inward in the top lip, bouncing outward, and then cutting back in with the lower lip. So I have here in a profile, you can see that it goes a curve, a straight, a curve, and a straight. So whenever you're going to tilt the face, like in a 3/4, think of your M as like a block. You know, you'd think of folded paper too. So you're gonna have a deeper shadow, and that'll be, pick the front of your mouth, and then you're going to see that depth. And I want you to remember that lips are a lot thicker than we tend to think they are. If you really pay attention to them, there's a lot of thickness in the flesh and in the muscle of our lips. So whenever you're to the side, you're only going to see that depth, and that's the other part, is that you won't see a whole lot of the angled upper lip. So whenever you're looking at angles for lips, when you are viewing from a high angle, you're going to have less of your top lip. You're going to see primarily just the bottom lip protruding outward, and you're going to have your right here, you have your philtrum up the top, you got your nose, and you've got your jawline as well. Now, whenever you're viewing from a low angle, it's going to be the opposite. You're going to have less of your lower lip, and you're going to have more primarily of your upper lip showing. And even though you won't see a lot of your lower lip, you will still see an indicator of the ridge line for the bottom of your lips, because there is a little area there that does bump out as well. Now, whenever you're doing squash and stretch with lips, you have to remember that that's how everything is going to move. So you're going to have your little M and you're going to have your V, but they're going to stretch. So if you smile and you pull the sides of your mouth, obviously that M is going to flatten out and the top portion of your lip is going to follow and flatten out a little bit. Now, whenever you're going to pucker up, it's going to smush the M and it's going to cause a lot more wrinkling, and it's going to pull everything together. It's going to be a lot more severe so that you can show off kind of how thick those lips are. Anyway, those are just a few tips that I have learned along the way. Hope they helped out. Thanks for watching.